In this video, I'm gonna be breaking down our exact webinar funnel that we've used to generate over multi-six figures in client revenue. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to actually build a foundation for a webinar, how to market your webinar, and how to nurture your webinar leads. Enjoy. Showing you guys how to actually build a... Just to put this into perspective, I like to think about webinars as a chord stack. The bottom row being the foundation, then the second row being the marketing and nurturing, webinar day, presentation, etc. But if the foundation, if the annual headline offer isn't in place, everything is gonna collapse and you're gonna be losing on a lot of money because you didn't do the foundation properly. So now that you understand why the foundation is so important, I'm gonna show you guys how to actually build it and how to make it bulletproof so you can make a lot of fucking money. But basically the first step is understanding your market. There are 5 different stages of awareness levels that your market can either have. They can be either unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, or most aware. And you need to know which bucket your market falls into, right? For example, let's say you're running an AI agency coaching offer. Your audience could be a problem aware. They know that they have the pain, they don't have money, they want to make more money, but they don't know how. They don't know the solution for it. They don't know how they can actually make more money. Or then they can be solution aware, that they know that they have this pain and they know that there is a solution for it, but there is a lot of solutions, so they don't know which solution to pick, right? And this is the most case for these bigger, more saturated markets like high ticket sales, growth operating, um, trading, ecom, whatever. There is like the biggest markets in the space, and then problem aware, these are like more niche markets, more like maybe manifestation, like all of these like more like wellness market niche type offers. Fit into that bucket. But how do you actually get the understanding of your market? It's a great question. How we basically usually do it when we sign a new client or we get a new client on board. We usually start with these steps. So understanding their market and what level of awareness does their market or audience have. We just basically go through past sales call recordings. If they don't have past sales call recordings, no worries. We can either run a poll or a form to their audience by an Instagram story or by some other way to their community. Or then we can go through their comments, DMs, or if they have a DM setter, we can put on the EOD form that answer these questions. Did you find out about this XYZ topic? Da 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 da. By getting data from the DM setter is also a really good way to get the understanding of your market. So now that you know which bucket your market falls into, you can move over to the angle. And this is a extremely important step as well, especially if you're more in the more saturated markets. Your angle needs to be on place, otherwise no one's gonna come or sign up to your webinar. And all of your marketing assets, copy, funnels, headlines should be created with around this angle, so they should be congruent through the whole funnel. So just for an example, let's say that you have a solution aware market, right? You have a lot of other coaches in your market that teach the same thing. You need to position yourself as an authority, as a somewhat different to these other coaches with this angle. You can either say, let's say I've spent over 400k on this topic and I'm exposing all the secrets I know, or exposing the biggest lies in XYZ industry, why the AI bubble is going to collapse and everything's going to go down, and why this method works. Like, you should be super creative with this, like, or you can either go like the traditional way, like new year, new me resolutions, or like end of year, like time framed angles or season framed angles. Like, you should be super creative and spend like at least some time on this, so you can actually nail it down and make it super good. Then, in terms of the headline, extremely important as well. You should create 1 or 2, maybe 3 headlines for a webinar that you can maybe split test and try out, depending on how the conversion rates are and how the metrics are doing. But what we usually use for headlines is the framework that we usually use, so you can just steal it. So how it works is like steal the XYZ method that helps ICP achieve XYZ outcome, and then sub headline without pain one or pain two. So like, oh shit, little without um spending a lot of money on da da da, or without wasting time on useless advice or something in the lines of that. And then there's a couple examples. Still, the XYZ system behind my unique mechanism making everyday people or ICP 3 to 6K monthly with your business model. And then this is from Onuha, Samuel Onuha. He's running a webinar in a couple of days, but still by 40 million. So instant authority. AI launch protocol that took me from a random kid in the Netherlands to a decamillionaire in my 20s. That's a good headline as well. And now that you've gotten the headline down and you've actually nailed it, you have a couple variations for your headlines that you can split test throughout the marketing period. You can move into the creating the offer for your webinar that you're going to be pitching in the presentation. So this is our SOP that we usually use to create our webinars, but I can run you through the most important things here. So you should start off with obviously the headline, the outcome, then the core offer and the program timeline. So how long is the program? What's the core offer? What are you guys like offering right now? And for the webinar, you're gonna do a bonus stack. So good rule of thumb, what I usually like to do is I like to make the bonuses more valuable than the core offer, so it makes the offer a no-brainer, right? And then you can on the webinar you can bonus stack with showing all the prices of the bonus, like the bonuses, and make it like actually show the value to the audience, like yo, so these bonuses are 12K, the core offer that are like is this amount, so it outweighs it, which makes it a no-brainer for you guys to buy right now. And then you put some scarcity urgency behind it, and it prints super well. So core offer, then a crazy bonus stack. If you don't have any bonuses that, or if you don't know what kind of bonuses you could add, you can basically reframe some of your current core deliverables in your offer as bonuses, but with just different wording or like small little add-ons. I don't know. Like bonuses could be anything. Like you could throw in the smallest things and make it like a bonus pack, like these audio files, these files here and there, and just like make it like a big stack of like crazy bonuses. So just add as many crazy bonuses as you can. Actually spend time making them and thinking about like what could I actually want, and they should be something that you would, as a coach, would have had wanted in earlier stages of your journey. So it could be it can be something that like this actually ship, but probably someone wants it, right? It's gonna be something that people actually want, so you can actually get some customers in your program, right? Then in there's the scarcity and urgency. You can either have limited spots, limited time, limited bonuses, or then about capacity. I usually, or what you guys shouldn't do is don't make it fake. Must be real. It's people are gonna smell, people are gonna feel the energy, people are gonna see from your body language that it's actually fake, it's not real. When you're just shouting like yeah, have 20 spots, like book the call fast, buy it fast, it's gonna come off so fake. So please just make sure that it's real. It's gonna be more genuine and it's all gonna come off better to your audience as well. 100%. So also you need to have some sort of urgency or scarcity for your offer. Make sure you have that. And then risk reward, so you can have a guarantee. If you don't, no worries. Most offer these days don't even have a guarantee. And then yeah, the offer stack. And yeah, well, if you want that SOP, what I just went through, just DM me on IG. I can send you the offer creation SOP that we use for our webinar offers. And lastly, how we actually write banger copy for our webinars that actually convert every single time. We usually like to create ChatGPT projects Claude projects are good as well, or then you can use Manus. That's a good one as well. Or then some people use Poppy. Use whatever you like. Would we just like to use ChatGPT because we have some international clients that are not in English, so we need to print copy in different languages. And I've found that ChatGPT is the best for kind of foreign language for like foreign languages. For in this case, we have a Finnish coach here, so that's why we use ChatGPT. But we have 8 different docs of their ICP, their brand story, their testimonials in one big JSON file. Their onboarding doc that we send to our every single client when we onboard them, where we ask them like 30 different questions about their offer, their past, their life, to get a really good deep understanding on who we're actually helping and what's like the core mission here, especially. And then about the product details, and then if you have like past emails from the creator, like get like 50 of their past emails and like put them into a doc, and then download it as a txt and put it into the ChatGPT project. Then her brand voice, and then direct quotes from her market. This is actually a banger one because now you have like real data from the ICP, so you can search for like Reddit forums, or a really good way is also Amazon book reviews, right? You search up a really famous book in your coach's niche, and then you go into the reviews, and you don't look at the 5-star reviews, you look at the 3-star, 4-star reviews, and you look at what people are complaining about that they didn't learn the book, or like what are their new insights about this topic that are that. You can get some really good data of their market of that, which will allow you to print super good copy for their ICP for their market. Or you can either run like a ChatGPT deep research on that topic. That works as well. But yeah, so once you have all of these nailed down, you basically got your foundation ready, and you're kind of ready to start building out the back end and landing pages, etc., which I'm going to be covering in the next upcoming videos. Yo, by the way, if you're an online coach who would want a done for you webinar built out from me and my team, book a call down below and let's chat about it. Showing you guys how to actually build a. So now I'm going to show you how you can actually attract the most amount of people to your webinar so you can make the most amount of cash, essentially. So starting off with your social media. For our client that we just ran a webinar for, we used IG stories, but what you can do is you can use, if you have a big Twitter account, a LinkedIn account, IG stories, Snapchat, YouTube, community posts, long form posts, whatever, right? But this is mainly for IG stories, and what we used our whole strategy. And we did these stories with Canva, super simple to make. If you're not tapped into Canva yet, you should defo start making your stories with Canva. And then with, let's say you're running LinkedIn or Twitter posts, they should be value-based posts talking about some new hot topic, and then always having a CTA at the end. So just keep posting normally like you guys are doing, but just add a CTA to the start or the end or to the middle of the post to pull them into your webinar, and then have the webinar registration link in the creator's bio, so they can actually register for the webinar. So the CTA isn't there for no reason, right? But social media is super important. Your audience probably has the most amount of kind of pull on this platform or from all of these other ones. So you should be really focusing on social media and almost posting daily. What we usually like to do is we like to run 8-day marketing periods for our clients before the webinar, and then we just post every single day on social media, sometimes 2 times a day. Depends, right? Then with emails, should always leverage your email list if your client has one. If they don't, it's fine. You just gotta go heavy on on the organic side on IG and maybe some paid ads as well. But if they do have an email list, you're in a good spot. And this is the exact emails that we always run for our clients, obviously, customers to their niche and market and to their market awareness levels, etc. But this is like the core structure, our framework on how to actually get the most out of your email lists. So a simple announcement then to the lead magnet or the sign up gift focused. Why should they want it? What it will do for them? Kind of sell them on the sign up gift. So they're gonna go sign up and get the gift, right? As an incentive. Then the value breakdown of the webinar, what you're gonna be kind of covering the webinar. Attention grab. Why should they listen to you? Da da da. Urgency, FOMO, simple stuff. Then 20 hours away from the webinar, and then obsession handling. If they don't show up, they're doing a disservice for themselves, da da da, etc. Then morning reminder. This is also a banger one. Kind of a nightmare of missing out of the webinar. What would happen if you actually missed out? Da da da. Works super well. And then these are mainly like reminder-ish, but we still drop some value in there. But these are super value dense, like long emails with like some case studies in there as well. Like don't sleep on sending case studies and testimonials in the emails. Super important to warm them up as well, and like getting them to register, etc. Paid ads, we just usually run couple static ones and video ones, simple ones with CTAs, and then we just try out different body, different hook sections and see which one crushes and go ham on that. Usually works super well. And it's definitely something that you shouldn't be sleeping on. So definitely try out some ads, see how they go. If they don't go well, fix them and make them go right. And yeah, then SMS, if you have a some sort of SMS list and you have like SMS blaster, you should definitely send a couple ones. Here's 5. You usually maybe send around 3, but you can send 5. Sometimes we might send 5, depends on the audience. But kind of similar ones with, or like similar ones with the emails, but obviously these have to be like so much shorter, so you're gonna have to write them super concise. But yeah, they're more of like reminders than like actual value, but we usually like to kind of add something tangible there, so it's not just like just like spamming their number with like reminders like, yo bro, I'm hopping on a live in 2 days, like tap in, it's a bit different because like no one wants to get those types of SMS. You gotta be a bit more sneaky with them and then have like the CTA in the end, etc. Then in terms of the webinar registration page, though, this is super important because you're gonna be funneling all of these channels into this page. So you should have the headline that we created here. So headline in place, make it super nice, and then the headline there. It's not there right now, but you should have a subheadline. Then countdown, the CTA, little like a authority case study, social proof, and this is in Finnish. But this is basically the agenda, what we're going to be going through: introduction, pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, and then Q&A. Then who's the coach, their free sign up gift, right? So when they sign up, they should have like a lead magnet that they get as an incentive, because then you can obviously push it in the marketing, and also it's gonna get them to sign up, because sometimes people might be on the edge like, should I sign up, is it worth it? But then I say, okay, sure, I get this, so might as well, because they're not losing anything when they sign up. So you should have that in place, and then testimonials. Then, and yeah, just like a couple side notes, like the registration CTAs should be like visible at all times, so you should have them after every single section, and it should be super low friction to sign up, right? Because especially in the US markets, like you need these big ass buttons and arrows to the CTA buttons because like some of these guys are just dumb. Like they're literally just dumb and don't know how to actually register for the webinar. So the buttons need to actually be big and like indicate clearly this, like sign up here, claim your free ticket, da da da. So super low friction, easily usable, and please make these optimized for mobile. I see a lot of landing pages that just are so shit with mobile. 60 to 70% of your audience will be registering to your webinar from the mobile. So please make it optimized for your mobile so people can actually register. Don't make that mistake. Then thank you page, super important. What we usually like to do is we like to say like don't close this page, a progression bar, which is obviously fake. Not really, it's not actually that fake, but yeah. Then the video, thank you video, thank you for signing up, do these next steps, join the WhatsApp group, add this to your calendar, check your email for more info, right? Then extremely crucial, super important, you shouldn't be running a webinar without this, so having the WhatsApp broadcast group, you can either use Telegram, WhatsApp, or then I don't know if you have some other alternatives here. You can host like bigger groups. You can use those, but I like to usually go for WhatsApp. But WhatsApp has a cap of 1K people, so you need to, if you're expecting, or if you get more than 1K people into the WhatsApp group, create a new one and then change the link here to the new WhatsApp group. And super important step, don't sleep on this. And then you can create these calendar links using a software or a website called labnull.org. Super simple to create this one click to calendar links, and they usually convert super well because then they add it to their calendar. They also get reminders from their calendar, and they get reminders from us through SMS, email, WhatsApp, IG, and ads. So they're showing up. They're for sure showing up, right? Well, that's pretty much about the marketing and the website phase. Yo, by the way, if you're an online coach who would want a done for you webinar built out from me and my team, book a call down below and let's chat about it. Showing you guys how to actually build it. So now I'm going to be covering the exact nurture process that we use, which has allowed us to average a 50 to 60% show up rate on all of our webinars. And just to put this into perspective on how important the nurture process actually is, let me show you this. So most webinars don't fail because they have bad ads, bad slide text, or like a bad presentation. They basically fail because people don't show up in the first place, right? They don't even get the chance to pitch to these people because they don't show up. And show up rate is by far the most important metric to track in webinars. You should always optimize for that. Super important, right? So just to show you guys how important it actually is, right? Let's say you have 1K registrants, you have a 30% show up rate, you get 300 attendees, you book 45 calls with a 70% show rate, that's 32 calls, 35% close rate, you close 11 clients. And yeah, let's say you have like a 5K AOV, you make 50 to 60K. But let's say your show up rate is 50 or 60%, right? You have like 500 attendees or even more. You book 75 calls, 52 calls show up, then you close 18 calls, and you collect almost 6 figures, right? That's just a 40K jump just by improving your show up rate and actually locking in your nurturing process. And this kind of a picture that indicates this super well, right? Because when people first sign up or register for a webinar, they're in an ice cube, right, like this, and then picture the lighter as your nurturing process, right? Unfreezing the ice cube to make them warmer, right? To warm them up. So now that you know why your nurture process is super important, I'm going to show you guys how to actually run it properly and how to achieve a 50 to 60% show up rate on your webinars. Starting off with the email sequence, a lot of people make their first big mistake here that's gonna cost them a lot on the show up rates, is running simple reminder emails like, yo, mastermind is in 2 days, da da da, come ready, get your pen and pencil and take notes, like shit like that, you know. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. You actually need to provide value, break beliefs, handle objections, and also provide even more value, because value is super important, right? You know, everybody here knows the psychology behind giving people value, then they have the feeling that they need to give you back, right? So that's why we bomb them with value and case studies, break their beliefs, objection handling, etc. So this is what we usually run. Number one email, confirmation email, you're registered, then have a CTA for them to join the broadcast group. I'm gonna be covering the broadcast group in a second, and yeah. So that's the first email, super simple. Then a why now, straight into kind of creating those, kind of creating that urgency for them. Like, why should they join? Why are they here right now? Why should they be joining the webinar on this day? Kind of like creating, starting to plant like the urgency belief and like the scarcity belief into their mind. So when they show up on the webinar and when they get pitched, they're actually gonna book a call, come in the call and close, right? Then if you're running a more colder audience, you should have this like breakthrough story of the coach, kind of familiarizing themselves with the coach, works super well. Then about the bonuses that we're gonna be going over on the um, webinar, and also what do they get when they join the webinar, you know. Value breakdown of the webinar, and these are like all like core ideas of the email. Obviously there's a lot of like different stuff around the email, like copy, and then also drawing case studies and breaking beliefs, but like these are like the core ideas what we usually run. So just so you guys know that we're not like just running a value breakdown on them and then like sending it, well, like there's a lot more that go into these emails. Then opposition handling, what happens if they don't show up, like how it's a disservice for them and their future family, da 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 da. Not like framed like that, but you guys get the idea. Then event day reminder, last call. These are usually a bit more vague, not that value dense heavy or not that like psychological or persuasive. They're more like reminders. Then in terms of the WhatsApp broadcast group, you can either run a WhatsApp group, a Telegram group, or if you have any other softwares or platforms where you can host large groups, I think you can probably run a Instagram broadcast group maybe as well, if I'm not mistaken, but we just like to run a WhatsApp. And in the WhatsApp group, you should funnel every single registrant into this group from the thank you page and from these emails. These emails should have CTAs to join this group as well. And then like PS, that if you're not in this group, join right now. I'm gonna be sending free files that will help you to prepare for the webinar today or tonight, right? And in the WhatsApp group, you should be sending long form, like unlisted long form YouTube videos, breaking down something and like just dropping creative value, then like belief breaking messages about your method, your industry, just breaking common beliefs, etc. Then testimonial and case studies before the webinar, super important. Any like client interview that you have, super important. Then pre-objection handling. A lot of people that think that they can't make it on time today, or like something like that, to make them actually join and break those objections before they come up, and etc. Super important that you post in this group almost that you post in this group daily. We like to post twice a day, so in the usually in the morning and then in the evening. Then there's SMS reminders. That's usually you gotta keep this short, right? So just run simple reminders with attached with value, like, yo, if you've not checked this out, watch this video. And also, like, by the way, webinar is happening in 2 days at this time, you know. Super simple SMS reminders today. SMS list. Then in terms of paid ads, what we usually like to run is hammer them ads, super important. So if you're not familiar with hammer them ads yet, they're basically value plus reminder ads with no CTAs, and they're super cost effective. They don't cost a lot to run, and they're super good, especially if you're running a colder audience or a more maybe sophisticated market, because then you can, with this hammer them ads, you can break their beliefs, like handle objections, and kind of frame yourself as the author before the webinar. So when they come on the webinar, they already feel like, oh shit, yeah, I've seen this guy around a lot, like I trust him already. And then you go for a crazy presentation in the webinar and close them, right? And what these basically do, they increase your short rate, boost watch time, raise your conversation rates, and also like pre-frame your audience so the webinar goes harder and essentially turns your cold registrants into hot buyers. What we usually like to do on webinar days, webinar mornings, webinar evenings, obviously have the SMS reminders go out, have the email reminders go out, etc. But then IG live or a live on your preferred platform 30 to 40 minutes before the webinar, because in that live room what you can do is you can already warm up the audience and throw some jokes, ask about their day, and then you can make a really smooth transition from that live to the webinar, right? And that works super well, right? You just drop the link into the chat or whatever and get them to join the webinar as well from the live. That's gonna increase your show up rate and actually can get you even more registrants like on the last seconds of the webinar. So super good and kind of untapped way to get even more registrants to your webinar. But hope you enjoyed the video. That's pretty much about our nurture process. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below, DM me on IG. However, if you would like any of these SOPs, yeah, so thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about our process, how we run it, if you need any help with that, you can drop a comment down below. And if you're an online coach who wants a done for you webinar build out from me and my team, book a call down below and let's chat about it. All right, take care and have a blessed day.